Alright guys, so I thought about not making this video, and then I realized it's been a little while since I made a video. We've had some more information come out about patch 2.5 and about the new ladder season coming. I know that a lot of people are really disappointed that we don't have like stackable runes, drop loot filters, drop indicators, and things of that nature. Extra stash space, just little quality of life things that people wanted. A lot of people are happy about the terror zones. Some people are kind of iffy about it. Some people think that it's lazy. I'm kind of on the fence. I'm not really mad about them adding new content, but at the same time I'm not mind blown by it. So we'll just have to see how it goes. I actually want to see on my... Hopefully they don't make it ladder only. That's one thing that I was thinking. I have like 8 characters that are non-ladder, but they're online on Battle.net. And I play mostly Battle.net Players 1. Now my whole thing is, I don't want to have to make another level 1 ladder character when I don't play with anybody else in order to be able to experience the terror zones. Otherwise I'll just forego on them and I'll play as I normally do here and there. Might even slow down on my playing and grinding because I pretty much have everything. But that'll be something for me to experience later. I feel like terror zones is not a big enough draw to bring some people back to the ladder grind. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it should be ladder exclusive. I think that they should put some ladder exclusive rune words or some ladder exclusive... something ladder exclusive that's like tangible, that you can only get in ladder, kind of like the rune words were last season or this season, just to give you a reason, just to give you something to go after. That's all my thinking is. So here we're gonna get into the main points that I had for the game. One big point that I want to make, a lot of people on PC might not realize it, but me coming from console, when I bought Diablo 2 Resurrected, it was $40. It wasn't $60. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if it was $60 on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One or Series X or PS5, whatever, Switch. But it was $40 on PC, so I was kind of under the impression that they were approaching this game the same way that they were approaching like World of Warcraft Classic, which was, for lack of a better word, a nostalgia bait. I didn't think when they released this game that they were even going to do any updates. That's not me being a bootlicker or anything like that. That's just me stating what some of us may feel. We weren't expecting anything new. That said, they did give us a bunch of new stuff and kind of set this tone. It's like you set this tone in a relationship and you take a girl out to eat 15 times and on the 16th date you're like, oh, you're not paying? It's like, you kind of set the tone, you kind of set the standards for the shit, and now you're switching up all of a sudden. So I think that can explain why some people are mad about maybe not getting the content that seems obvious to them. Another thing is, this game, in my opinion, was something that they wanted to basically sit right in between their last release and Diablo 4 so that they can earn revenue in the meantime. The fact of the matter is, Diablo 4, they have all these cosmetic things and these things planned out where they're going to be making microtransactions all the time. At the end of the day, it is a business. Yes, video games are art, but majority of people, besides the developers, the people who actually are like holding the leash on the developers, preventing them from doing what they really want to do, those are the people calling the shots, and those are the people, it's about a business for them. Like, the CEO of Activision literally was quoted saying, if I could make video games less fun and more expensive, I would do it. So I mean, that's the kind of people that are at the top of these companies and stuff. So I wouldn't blame the developers when they're being controlled by people who literally have no business being in the video game business in the first place. But that said, I would say that we do need to voice our opinions, definitely be respectful to the devs, but keep a lot of things in mind. Also, I think that there's a lot of middle ground to be had. Like, for instance, this is harder to play and talk and get my rant off than I thought it would be. But they want to make money. How about adding, like, you know, a lot of people think Shaco looks ugly as hell. Add something into the game where you can pay $1 per piece of gear to change the color of it. Oh, I want a red Shaco. Here you guys go. Here, have $1 of my cash. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure people would do that. Pay $1 to turn your Shaco purple. You know what I mean? Change your armor to a different color. Change your claws to a different color. Like, I'm sure there's even some fools who would pay to have a different color gloves in their inventory, even though it doesn't do anything, because they want to match it to the rest of their gear. I mean, there's ways that they can make money. That's my point that I'm trying to make. I was laying down in bed last night after watching some of the videos talking about the new changes, like the hammerdin nerfs incoming. I just hope that they don't fuck Bone Spear Necromancer up, even though that's really a PvP build in my opinion. I really hope they don't fuck Berserk Barbarian up. I just hope they don't mess with the immunes to where, you know, like Berserk Barbarian or something now sucks in terror zones, and now like, oh man, I can't take advantage of the horking or whatever. I just hope that it's balanced in a certain kind of way where it's, don't destroy the magic damage type. Just do something to hammers or their synergy with concentration or something. You know what I mean? But don't destroy it to the point where people who play Players 1 can't experience that. Because there's still people out there who never got their 35 Spirit, a Hodo, an Enigma. You know what I mean? They're Iraqs. They never got to zip around the map and cast the hammers. So I mean, I would say it could definitely tune down a little bit, but at the same time, I think a lot of the people who complain about it either don't like the hammerdins in their lobbies, just destroying everything, or it's people like me or other people who don't really like playing as hammerdin because they find it boring. So it's like, if you don't like it, you don't have to play as the hammerdin. I could understand maybe not liking playing with hammerdins in your lobby though, and you feel like you're like just standing around watching while they kill everything. I guess I could understand that. But at the same time, I feel like there's definitely bigger deals for them to handle than hammerdin. Like, for instance, like, error zones is a great thing, but I don't think that the level 99 grind is as important as they would lead you to believe. And another thing to think about, honestly, probably the biggest factor in everything that's happened recently with the game is honestly that they weren't expecting the game to get as big as it's gotten. They knew that it was a cult classic. They wouldn't try to cash out on the nostalgia of it if they didn't know it was a cult classic. But at the same time, they didn't know just how big it was. They knew it was big, but I mean, it's arguably bigger than like something like WoW Classic or something. So I think they got caught off guard when they released this game. Let me just look at my notes, see if I have anything else to talk about. This is kind of a long video, but I just wanted, you know, it's been a while since I've made a video. I wanted to talk about the things that I thought about everything. I'm not really compelled to play because of the terror zones. I'm more so compelled to play just to experiment with random shit. Like, the other day I got on, I found a decent chaos base. Not good, not great, decent, not bad, because it's got +3 to death sentry, so it covered the skill tree for me without having to put any points. And then I found a Sir Rune the other day in Chaos, and I said, shit, I gotta finish my rune word grail, so let me try making a wind. And I actually found the Sawaya, and this actually works really good if you just want to run around and only whirlwind the enemies, just because this hit blinds target, and then the what's it called, the negative to target defense. It really helps with your whirlwinds, like hitting the enemies a lot. And then the blinding the target reminds me of whirlwinding with like Last Wish on. Of course it's not like a major damage source, of course you're gonna want to lay traps or whatever, but I mean, look, they're all blinded and they can't do anything to you. So I mean, I think that for PVM, decent pair of gloves. Actually, these are more than a decent pair of gloves. These are damn good gloves. I wouldn't say... Gosh, if they had fucking IAS instead of AR, they would be damn good. But they're pretty good gloves. Worth keeping. Wish they had a lower level requirement on. But with all that said, I think that's pretty much everything. My whole thing is that there's middle ground to be made, and I hope that they continue to support Diablo 2 Resurrected. I understand as a business that they're not going to want to fracture their community by continuing to support this after Diablo 4 comes out, so I wouldn't expect it to be handled that way. I think they're going to want this community to migrate over there. I may be wrong, but unless they find a way to make more money off of this game rather than just copies sold, they're not going to support it for too much longer. That's what I'm trying to say, because it's a business at the end of the day. If you look at all of the games nowadays that get continual support constantly, look at this Diablo Immortal, for example. I keep getting emails. They're on like season 5 or some shit, season 4. I don't even know what's going on that game. I played it like a couple times the first week with my brother just to experience it for free. I never actually beat the game because I hit like a level wall. But my point being, they're constantly adding new things to the game because they have new things that you can buy, new cosmetics, there's always something new in the shop. That's the reason why they're constantly updating it. So I don't know how you guys would feel about cosmetics being involved in Diablo 2 Resurrected, but that could be kind of like a middle ground where the developers could possibly make some money. Not the developers, really, the studio, the publisher, but just a little bit of food for thought. I don't know, I'm sure people would be fine with buying paid DLC. I'm sure people would be, I don't know if people would buy stash tabs like they do in PoE. Maybe people would. People, I'm sure, still want like stackable runes and loot filter and stuff like that. Like, that would be ridiculous for them to charge for that. But, I'm sure if they never bring stackable runes, then people would pay for stash tabs. I'd rather have more stash tabs than loot filter, personally. I mean, more stash tabs than stackable rune. I want loot filter. I do want a loot filter though, because that definitely helps when you're doing tons of runs. But with all that said, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I don't want to rant for too long. It's already like 15 minutes. I'll catch y'all in the next one.